small things. I saw someone ask a question about the B double doors thing earlier.
Yes, you tweeted out about it.
Yeah, and just if anybody is interested, the reason that I say that is because right now the B bomb site on Dust2 is pretty restrictive in the way that you can hold it.
It's the hardest fucking bomb site to retake in CS:GO.
So you can get flashed off it very easily when holding middle, and B bomb site you can get swarmed quite easily. We saw that happen to Ents quite a lot at the major. And the reason that I say turn the doors around, now I'm talking about the B double doors, not the double doors. So basically you can sit on B hill, that's what I call it, outside B, and you can AWP or look from B hill towards upper dark tunnels. Now we know that there's a way that you can actually jump smoke from catwalk to cover off B doors. We've seen teams do that in the past, and that could negate this whole situation, but you have to play differently. But in 1.6, and I know you're saying, oh, but why won't this? Basically what I'm saying is, guys, this just adds another layer to hold the map. You could hold from outside the bomb site completely, and you could be more mid-heavy. So a thing called NOA stack, you probably hear us when we talk about it in cast. You stack 2 players mid doors to cover off catwalk. You could do more mid-heavy setups. You could take more risks around mid by having like a player cat, 2 players mid, or something along those lines, and have one guy like playing retake B or outside B, because it's much more difficult to walk all the way up and smoke and go. You normally would like flash or do your limp smoke or something like that, and the player AWPing from doors should be able to catch you. Or it would be obviously be a lot of cool like things that will change. But I think turning the doors around doesn't take anything away from the map, and I think it just adds more layers of cool things. And I think that Valve would be on board with a change like that. It would just need to be like kind of floated to them, because they're all about having like more different ways. They like differences of things, and it's a very simple change. It's nothing which is too crazy, at least in my opinion.
You know what I was thinking about recently? Because like, sure, this has been like one of the biggest features of Dust2, which is the mid fight, basically, like the AWP to AWP, basically being able to spot. But obviously that's also been a problem because of the doors and being spammable, and just like the CTs basically having to expend utility instantly in the round just to be able to cross the B bomb site. What if we just like basically remove the suicide? What do you call it? I call it the suicide, but I'm not sure what it's actually called.
It's got a million names, yeah.
Yeah. But basically the dark under T spawn, basically like remove that completely so that the AWP cannot just like spot CTs crossing, because what that would do would also allow CTs to be aggressive on mid from the start of the round without like being extremely careful about it, and then very easily punished for it by the AWP. And it would just change the dynamic of the map a lot, with CTs being able to cross the lower dark a lot easier, basically without being punished. And it would just like give CTs a lot more options in their aggressions, because Dust2 is currently a map where it's probably the hardest to do, because there are no real openings where you can go without instantly being spotted, without instantly being able to be punished. That I feel like would be an interesting change to Dust2 that would really change how the dynamic of the map is.
Yeah, you could get a lot more lower dark control. You could posture a lot forward up middle and taking fights towards back of cat. That have to use a lot more utility. It would be a lot more about the fight
for middle, basically, which is now basically like given away to T's instantly.
Yeah, you throw that Xbox smoke and you throw your back of cat flash to push anybody away from picking from catwalk, and you basically got mid, right? So yeah, it's definitely an interesting thought. I think maybe the standoff point there, the reason that it might not happen is because it would be such a huge change to a map like Dust2. I'm not opposed to it. I think it would change the dynamic for sure. Because you are right. Right now, most of our things are really long heavy based off spawns or B leans, mid to Bs. With this here means a lot more real estate. The CTs might even consider playing catwalk a little bit more often, right? Because if you can know that they have to use a bit more utility to take middle, at least in the infancy stages, you can posture a bit more forward and hold on to that territory for a little bit longer. So yeah, it would add more layers, that's for sure.
Yeah. Just like a random thought that I had like yesterday or something. I was thinking about this like in regards to how Dust2 seems to be a map that nobody can truly master, just because of how risky it is basically constantly for the CTs.